Footprints in the snow, they lead away from home and gather in the park. See couples holding hands, winter wonderland. They gather in the dark. Fires burning bright, spreading Christmas light. Sleigh bells ringing tight. Sparks become stars as they fly far. Oh, how they shine. Oh, hear the choir now, the voices of the town. The stars glow higher up with mulled wine in my cup. I cannot get enough of all this Christmas stuff. And the tower tells the time. Ding ding dong. Ding ding dong. Ding ding dong. Cuddle up in coats, breathing out clouds of flows. This one time a year, behind a windowsill, dinner plates are filled, festive winter cheer. I see a tiny train circling gifts again and again, festive decorations around the Christmas tree. Grateful just to be December celebrations. Oh, hear the choir now, the voices of the town. The stars glow higher up with mulled wine in my cup. I cannot get enough of all this Christmas stuff. And the tower tells the time. Ding ding dong. 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 Ding ding dong.
Hello and good evening and welcome to Don't Stop the Music radio show. My name is Peggy Sue and I am your host. Now the song you just heard there was called December Celebrations from the album of the same name by my guest this evening, and my guest is Bart Zeal and he is live from the Netherlands. So hello Bart, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing really well because I'm really happy that I can be here with you tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's always so nice to stay in touch, and then sometimes we're like, hey, let's do another interview, and
yeah.
This time I actually have something to say.
Well, do you realise that nearly 2 years ago, so the beginning of January 2021, you were my first guest on this show, and this show would be 2 years old in January next year.
Ah, nice.
So it's about 3 weeks' time.
All right.
So it's really nice to have you back on the show. And of course, you've got this wonderful album called December Celebrations. And of course, we're in December, so it's all to do with the festivities that we have around this time.
Yep. Yeah. And especially the ones that people don't know about.
Yeah, so that's going to be our next one, which people don't know about here.
Yeah, which one is it?
St. Lucia Bright. So obviously today
Right.
is St. Lucia's Day.
Yes, that's true.
But before we talk about that one, tell me a bit about the song there, December Celebrations.
The song December Celebrations was to be the most Christmassy, sort of American Christmas vibe song that I could possibly ever create. That was the idea, and it turned out pretty well, I think. I even looked up how to create a real Christmas song. I was like, okay, it is a formula. It's like cooking. I mean, these Christmas songs are so much alike. There's some elements that have to be in there in order for it to be experienced as a Christmas song.
Mm-hmm.
And these elements are sleigh bells.
Yep.
Check. They're in there. It has to be upbeat.
Yep.
Which is also right, so a certain beats per minute. It had to be a 4/4 tempo, which was also happened, and it had to have words that people know, and when they hear them, they think Christmas or at least December. So you can do like a drinking game and listen to the song, and then every time you hear a December word, you have to drink. Then you will be very, very drunk at the end of the song, because there's many, like I think like 30 or 40 words that I put in there that have to do something with Christmas, like snow, sleigh bells, fire, etc.
And obviously the bells, ding, ding, dong.
Yeah, ding, ding, dong. Okay, drink.
Oh, brilliant. Mind you, it's all about festivities, and drinking it sometimes is actually part of that.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, well, more than sometimes. I found when I was doing research for this album that feasting, which is eating and drinking alcohol, is part of almost all the celebrations.
Wow. So talking about how people... when you research that they don't know certain things, so like the song we're going to play in after, St. Lucia Bright. Obviously today is St. Lucia's Day, so tell our listeners what St. Lucia's Day is.
It's a day that in Scandinavia, or at least in Sweden, is celebrated by going to church, and in church you will find women in all white dresses that will sing songs. And this is not so different than from a normal church, like a mass. But in this case, they sing particular songs, or at least one song that is particularly for this day, Sancta Lucia. And one of them is wearing a wreath with candles in her hair. And the candles are on fire. So it's always a bit of a hazard. Probably a lot of people show up just to see, is she going to burn her hair this year? But they sing songs, and they this person with the candles in her hair is Saint Lucia of that year. So there's always going to be one girl who sings the lead and who takes on the role of Saint Lucia. And the most interesting part, I thought, about this was not that they sent this woman with the candles in her hair out into the dark forest and it looks really nice in the snow. This is really nice, but the most interesting part I thought was why? Why does she have these candles in her hair? And it turns out that Saint Lucia was from Italy, and there were some disagreements in the politics, of course, like always, to this very day. And there were some people who had to hide from the established order, and she went to them. She was from a pretty rich family, so it wasn't really normal to show the level of empathy that she was showing. But she went to them, she found them, and she wanted to bring them food because they had to hide. They didn't have access to food. And in order to bring them this food, she had to go through several doors and have the food in her hands. But it was dark because she went in the night so that she wouldn't be found by the officials. So she had to have her hands free in order to carry the food and to open the doors. And that's why she put the candles in her hair.
And obviously the wreath was so to hold them in place.
Yes. Yeah. Otherwise, she had to melt it on top of her.
Yeah, that's not really nice.
Funny. No. That's not as romantic as the image that we have now.
That's very true. And of course, as we said, today is that St. Lucia Day for Sweden. So happy St. Lucia Day if you are Swedish.
Yes. And enjoy the song, I guess.
Yeah, well, here it is. And before I play it, so if any of our listeners have any questions or any comments for Bart this evening, you can text 07900 171 453, or if you're listening via the app or the website, just click on the Contact Us button and it will email me directly here in the studio. But let's listen to that St. Lucia Bright song.
When Lucia showed she had her arms full of food, a candle-lit wreath made her hands free to use. With her arms full of food that she brought in the night, Lucia brought us a feast and delight. Saint Lucia, Lucia, bright. They came to remove her, but she would not be moved. 1,000 men pulling, 7 oxes hooved. So they stacked a pyre around her upright. Lucia brought us a feast and delight. Saint Lucia, Lucia, bright. Did blaze, but it took not her life. The candles remind us of all of her strife. The red sash remember her courageous plight. Lucia brought us a feast and delight. Saint Lucia brought us a feast and delight. Saint Lucia, Lucia, bright. Saint Lucia, Lucia, bright.
What a wonderful song there. Now, Bart, that is really softly for you to sing. Was that really difficult? Because obviously I know that from your other albums, and obviously there's a couple of songs later on in the show that we're going to play, that shows that you normally sing a lot louder. Not louder as in shouting, but you've got more power behind your voice. Was it quite hard to sing so softly?
Yeah, it's normally I have more energy. Like I can jump up and down, and for this one it's almost like I had to sit down. But when you sit, you cannot really do your breathing too well. So I did have to stand. But I did wait with recording. Like this final recording was at nighttime, lights off, just some small lights, and really make a calm setting. And then finally I found it. But it took a lot of takes.
So when you go and sing this one live, do you find it difficult as well for that? Or do you now do you find you've got that groove on so you can sing it quite nicely?
In fact, I don't do this one live because it doesn't work for live.
Oh, wow.
Unless people are in really nice couches and with hot cocoa or something like that. But most of the times they are standing or at least looking attentively to me. And then the song is just a bit too slow and calm, and I have to keep their attention somehow. And I don't think, I at least I've not done this song live yet.
Oh, we have to get you to sing it live soon. maybe next year's Christmas.
Yes, it will return. This album will return every year. That's the beauty of it.
That is the beauty of it. Now, we have had a message in, and this is from Chloe. Hello, Chloe. Thank you for listening. And Chloe says, lovely to hear Bart on the airwaves. Really good music. Bart has an art of being able to clearly hear the lyrics as well-composed music.
That's so nice to hear. I will be sure to pass that on to Tom, my producer, because he also has a big role in exactly this that Chloe describes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you sing most of this album, or I think it's all of this album actually, that you've got at least somebody else with you. So you got other people singing along. So I know you have Amy Wallace, and there's others as well. So would you like to say who you had play on this, or who you had sing on the album? Because obviously December Celebrations, there was a little choir in the background there as well, and the future songs we've got coming up as well in the show, we've also got other people singing.
For December Celebrations, wait, I'll start somewhere else. Each month I produce a song, or we produce a song together, Tom and I. Tom is my producer and good friend. And I record a song and we produce it and we upload it on the 20th of the month. And when I do this, I try to collaborate with new artists that I haven't collaborated with yet. And I try to find new friends. And some artists I collaborate with only once, and others we stay in touch, and it's really nice. And that's for this album, December Celebrations. I contacted the artists that I really like the people that I've had fun with in the past year or years. And those people are, for instance, Amy Wallace is on the album twice, which is really nice. She has a really unique voice because she had a sort of classical background, a more like opera kind of sound. And that's really unique, especially in our branch where people are used to singing a technique that's called belting. And she sings like capped. Yeah, that's some terms. It might not, you might not know what they mean, but belting is more like the poppy sound, and capped singing is more like the opera classical sound. So that was really nice. We have Freya Catherine, which I always enjoy working with. I always enjoy interacting with her too. She has a really nice kind of humor also, so that's really cool. And she has the voice of a Disney princess. Like she's doing she's done several Disney songs in the past, covers, so that's really nice. Alexander Eisenbart from Eisenbart's Wheel, and this is a folk band. He's also producing another album for himself at the same time as it was recording for me, and he sings the King of Saturnalia, which is a fun song, and he was perfect for it. Like he made it exactly what I was, how I envisioned it. So that was really nice. The list goes on. We have Petronella, who does the cello. Yeah. She's from Sweden, so she helped me write the song Light the Yule Log. She helped me write this song, and she also showed me the Tomte, which I didn't know about before, so she also taught me about this. And we have Sjoerd, which is a longtime friend who I've known for years now, and he does guitar on Winter Solstice. And then finally we have also Sanne Caroline, and she sings on 3 songs. Also, which one? Not Light the Yellow. Anyway, she also sings on several songs. And of course, my producer did some stuff on his guitar, and he mixed everything. And then we have Ruben, who did the sort of atmosphere sounds in King of Saturnalia, and he also did the master. So that's the full credits of the entire album, and I hope I didn't forget anyone.
Now, speaking of Saturnalia, we're going to play Io Saturnalia next. So tell me a little bit about this.
Io Saturnalia is what the Romans would shout during their celebration called Saturnalia. Whenever someone made a good punchline, or whenever someone finished a speech, like these kind of moments when something happened, they said Io Saturnalia as a sort of shout or end of their joke. But they don't know how you pronounce it. So it was either Io or Yo or Io or... Well, that's the thing with Latin. They don't...
They don't know.
Yeah. So for this song, we sang both Io and Yo.
Yeah.
Alternating the both of them. And Saturnalia is a celebration in December, which is celebrated also around winter solstice.
I think isn't it the 17th of December it starts? So it's like a week long. So it's like 17th to 23rd.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're exactly right, I think. I'll look it up. I have a spreadsheet with everything. But the cool thing is about Saturnalia is that it sort of influenced Christmas quite a lot. If you would look at the traditions, they had feasting as well. They had giving of gifts to each other, and the gifts shouldn't be about wealth, but should be about, humility and really the sharing. The gesture was more important. And they did role reversal. So they still had slaves back in that time, and the slaves could sit at the table, and sometimes even the master would serve the drinks for them. That also happened. So they did this kind of stuff. And they had the King of Saturnalia, but I think I will go into more detail later.
Yes.
We play that song, right?
We are going to play that song, yes. I'm going to give everybody an earworm with that song.
Yeah. So that's Saturnalia, and Io Saturnalia sort of tells the tale of all the stuff that goes on during this celebration.
Well, here it is. This is Io Saturnalia.
One became a freedman, and so he wore a hat, told to his former master just what was never said. Then his former master took one hard look and laughed, said to his former slave, I'm glad now that is that. Io Saturnalia, Io Saturnalia, Io Saturnalia, Io Saturnalia.
Sat up ahead, they all were proper tipsy, they all were proper fed. The king told them to do exactly what he said, to dance upon the table and imitate a cat.
Io Saturnalia, Io Saturnalia, Io Saturnalia, Saturnalia. Everyone who gathered had brought a little gift. Sigillaria were gifted, the spirits to uplift. Some were made of wax, while others were of clay, the figures of the gods to whom we often pray. Io Saturnalia, Io Saturnalia, Io Saturnalia, Io Saturnalia.
Things you shouldn't do, no longer frowned upon. During Saturnalia, do whatever you may want. Gamble round the table, stake half your fortunes here, and so the poor become the rich. It is that time of year.
Io Saturnalia, Io Saturnalia, Io Saturnalia, Io Saturnalia. Then came an end to the Saturnalia. It's a long wait, my friend, to the Saturnalia. But I'm glad that we shared this Saturnalia. It's a long wait, my friend, to the next Saturnalia. Io Saturnalia, 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 Io Saturnalia.
Now, Bart, the next one we have is that King of Saturnalia. Now, I have to say this is an earworm for me, and I think everybody that's known me for the past couple of days have been telling me off because I've had to keep playing this song because it's stuck in my head, and now it's stuck in their head. Was that the intention?
Well, I didn't think about it when I wrote it, but the intention was definitely for it to be lighthearted and fun. So that's we achieved that, I guess.
Yes, you definitely did. It is quite a funny song as well when you hear it.
Yeah, and I've heard other people mention it as well, that it's stuck in their head. My girlfriend has said that for several days. Like when we go to sleep, you know what song is stuck in my head? Yeah, I think I have a good guess.
Now, tell us about, you did say before we played the last song that you was going to tell us a little bit more about King of Saturnalia. So tell us about the King of Saturnalia.
Yes, the king. Every town in the Roman Empire that celebrated Saturnalia had their own king. The king was appointed, and whether he liked it or not, he was going to be the king. And the king was tasked with giving random orders to make sure that everyone was having a good time, to spread merriment. Mm-hmm. So Saturnalia was a celebration that also included gambling and drinking excessively and doing everything you are not allowed to do normally. But when you do it during Saturnalia, it's fine. Well, and then once Saturnalia is over, you behave again. And if you don't, you go to jail for exactly what you did. But then you don't go to jail, you know? It's kind of like this. So people could go do their thing freely as long as they don't bother anyone else with it. Mm-hmm. And the king, during all these drunk festivities, was able to say like, oh, this guy is drunk, throw him into some water or throw some water on him. Or there were some people who were not joining the festivities, then they will say, you have to dance and walk around like a cat or something like this. And they were obliged to do it. And if they didn't, of course, if you don't follow the orders of the king, there will be consequences. But they were all still festive. And it was meant to make a mockery of the monarchy.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So why would you listen to some random guy giving orders?
Mm.
Yeah. Which is interesting because Roman Empire, of course, had an emperor.
Yeah.
But they also had councils, I believe. So it was meant to make a fool of the other kingdoms. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's give everybody this earworm now and play King of Saturnalia.
Hey! Hey! He's the king appointed, Saturnalia. The king, he may not like it, but he must rule us.
Well, I'm the king appointed, this Saturnalia. You won't really like it, but do as I say, yeah.
You got to do everything he tells you to. You got to stoop and bow and do it now. For your king, da-di-da-da, da-di-da-di-da, da-di-da-di-da-da, da-di-da-da.
I'm the king, you silly Saturnalia. You are what they call a vegetable.
King of festivities, Saturnalia. And he rules how he wants to, he drinks a cuppa.
You got to do everything I tell you to. You got to stoop and bow and do it now.
Oh, I didn't vote for you.
For your king, I
Word, it is absurd, this Saturnalia. Words that no one knows yet, says Swipedalia.
see flowers in the outhouse, Saturnalia. The tricks that I am pulling are marginalia. Hey!
How come he gets to be the king?
If ever I would be king, I would be a queen.
Somebody pass me some meads, for God's sake. Up the reds, I say, come on. You there, boy. Anyone ever told you look a bit like a chicken? Might be that you're covered in feathers, or at least you are now. Hey! And anybody seen my wife?
You even have a wife.
Very easy to spot. She's, about 6'2", covered in hair. Never mind.
That is absolutely brilliant.
And the laughter that you hear in the end were actually the sound guys on Alex's part. And we just kept it in because it was so genuine.
Yeah, definitely.
To keep it in.
Oh, brilliant. No, that it is that type of merriment song though, isn't it? Even though it's it has got that fun factor to it. It is quite merriment as well.
Yeah.
Definitely. And it's got that nice tune as well, that beat where you can just tap your feet along. Even if you don't know the song, straight away you're tapping your feet to it.
Perfect.
Now, you've obviously done, as you said, a lot of research into this album, and you found different things. Now, you did mention earlier about Tomta's.
Yes.
And the next song we are going to play is Tomta's Riddle. So when you researched about this, can you tell us what you found? Because I never heard of Tomta's before until I listened to your album.
Yeah, it's funny because not many people have heard of Tomta's before, but I can guarantee that at least some of the listeners will actually have a Tomta at home.
Really?
Because it's a really popular thing that people just like the look of. So a Tomta is a creature from Sweden, from Scandinavia. It's also sometimes called a Nisse, Tomta, and it's a small guy, and he has a long beard, a white beard, and a pointy little hat. So it's really much like a gnome, a garden gnome, but a little bit different. So the winter version sometimes it's made of cloth or felt. I don't know what this is in English, but yeah, it's made of this soft material. And most of the times you just see like the pointy head, a big round nose, and then the beard sticking out. And it's always in the sort of Christmas color, so really dark red and grayish, and maybe dark green.
Okay.
And a lot of people actually have this in their home, just sitting somewhere all year long. Well, mostly it's a sort of winter kind of decoration. And a tomte in folklore would, if you keep your house clean, and sometimes you leave some food and drink for the tomte, then he will also take care of you and bring you good luck. And he will also do some small chores so that you don't have to do them. But if you don't take care of your house and you leave a mess and you don't take care of your tomte, then he will become a real trickster, a little bit like a brownie. He will tie the tails of the cows together, and then you have to, deal with that and all this sort of small things that he will do to annoy you because you're not keeping the house clean and not taking care of business.
Oh wow! I think my mother-in-law must have made us a cardboard cutout of one. It must have been a few years ago when I went there for Christmas dinner. Because she gave each individual person exactly what you've just described as a tomte, but as in a cardboard cutout with the big nose, and then she did make it out to say it was cardboard, but she did have like glitter on it and felt as well. So the material felt that you were saying.
Yeah.
So it was a cross between that. So, and I think I've still got mine because she's made it like a picture of a button for its nose. And I'm sure I've got mine still somewhere.
Super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tomte. A lot of people have them somehow, and they're like stuff that people create themselves. And they're supposed to bring good luck if you take good care of them.
Oh wow, that's it. I never knew that. There you go. See, every day's a school day. Well, let's play Tomte's Riddle so people can have a good listen to this song.
All right. Cold is the night, and still and strange. Stars they glitter and shimmer. All are asleep in the lonely grange, under the midnight's glimmer. On glides the moon in gulfs profound. Snow on the firs and pines around. Snow on the roof is gleaming. Oh, but the tomte are dreaming. Grey, he stands at the barnyard door. Grey by the drifts of white there, and he looks as oft he has looked before, up at the moon so bright there. Looks at the woods where the fir trees tall shut the grange in with their dusky wall, and he ponders. Some problem vexes, some strange riddle perplexes. Passes his hand o'er beard and hair, shaking his head and his cap there.
Hey, that riddle's much too hard, I swear. I'll never guess it soon or then.
And like his habit, he soon drives out all such thoughts of disturbing doubts. This
is not what he came for, but he makes his old way to that same door. So he has seen them, sire and son, year after year in that room there. Sleep first as children, everyone. Ah, but whence did they come there? This generation to that was heir, blossomed, grew old and was gone, but where? That is the hopeless burning riddle forever returning. The night, and still and strange, stars they glitter and shimmer, all yet sleep in the lonely grange, soundly till morning shall glimmer. Into the night glides the moon profound, snow on the firs and pines around, snow on the roof is gleaming. Oh, but the tomte are dreaming.
And that was Tomte's riddle. And Chloe has messaged back in again. And Chloe says she must have a Tomte hidden in her works car because her car needs a clean and it's been breaking my car regularly.
Yeah, that sounds like the work of a tomte.
There you go, Chloe. So you need to tidy your car out and not use it as a skip.
Yep.
Now, obviously, you've got so many different things to do with December and the festivities, because obviously we have Christmas, and as we've now just found out, we've got Saturnalia, and you've also got St. Lucia's Day, and we've also got the winter solstice, which is on the 21st of December this year, because it depends on when it falls with the moons and the season, because sometimes it can be the 20th and sometimes it can be the 23rd. So I know this year it's the 21st of December, which for us here in the Northern Hemisphere is the shortest day or the longest night.
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell us about your song Winter Solstice.
Yeah. Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Winter solstice definitely is the oldest celebration out of the list. Because, well, I think for the longest time as humans, we've lived by the laws of nature and the seasons and how long a day lasts. We used to be much more in tune with that, and we used to really understand how to react to the weather and the seasons. Right now, we try to just move on with our jobs and continue all through the winter. While in other times we already gathered the food, and then we had a much less active season, I think, than now, which also explains probably some of the burnouts and the negative feelings that people have around winter. But in the old times it wasn't like that, and we were much more in tune with nature, and I think that's also why all the new celebrations like Christmas are celebrated around the winter solstice. It's based on or influenced by other much older cultures, the Druidic cultures. For instance, Christmas, they are talking about the lambs, like the little sheep in the field.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know any sheep that's born in winter.
No.
So it was very likely that Jesus was actually born in spring, but they moved the celebrations towards the winter because they didn't have any Christian celebrations at the time. And also it would work to help convert the pagans who were celebrating Yule at that time. So all these cultures and religions sort of influence together, and even when you change your own culture to convert another, you're also sort of slightly being converted yourself because the Christmas tree is not in the Bible. It was something that the pagans did, decorating the pine trees where they lived. So this is really interesting. And winter solstice is the song Winter Solstice. I try to keep as much about the Wiccan celebration of winter solstice, because there's so many different ways it can be celebrated, and I try to stay close to the Wiccan tradition.
Well, here is Winter Solstice.
Winter solstice, warm meat and bread, a cauldron full to gather at Yule. Winter solstice, candles in red and white and gold, let night unfold.
Winter solstice, fire on display, return of light when spells take flight. Winter solstice, the shortest day, the longest night, awaken delight.
The rebirth of our horned God, the newborn solstice sun, infancy and innocence, praise him everyone. Look into the fire, growing in its height, deep inside this pyre.
The start of lasting
Remaining half
love.
of the year is over, reminding us of patience, of love.
Now it is cold, but it gets warm, and it will grow. Light rains over Let the light in, let the light grow.
The rebirth of our horned God, the newborn solstice sun, infancy and innocence, praise him everyone. Look into the fire, growing in its height, deep inside this pyre.
Let the light in, let the light grow.
And how very true it is. So with the winter solstice, that after it we are leading back to the light, and with the light draws on longer again. So that's the good thing with that, and that is definitely true with that song. So that, well done, Bart. That's quite a nice song.
Thank you. Yes, then, if you celebrated this, the celebration or the tradition yourself, and then you realize that some of the stuff that's said in the song that you're familiar with it, that's what I also hope to achieve. That if the song is about your celebration, then it's supposed to at least have some points that you're like, oh yeah, that's what we do.
Yep, and it's exactly what I do, because I am, as I was just saying there whilst the song was playing, is I am pagan, and I do follow the solstices and the equinoxes as well. So that is just right for me as well.
Yeah, and then we realize, like, it's so much like Christmas also. Like we eat together.
Yep.
and we sit together and we look forward to the lengthening of the days, the new light.
You do indeed. We do
Yeah.
indeed. Now, obviously, with the festivities coming up as well, we are going to be coming to the new year. So have you got anything planned for next year?
Oh, yes. I do. We finished recording Touch the Sky from the Brave soundtrack.
Oh, I
Movie-
love that song.
movie Brave. Yeah, it was really nice. We did it together with Freya Catherine.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be great. And then we have some others. We have a song from the Labyrinth planned
Oh,
with David Bowie.
which
Well,
one?
not with David Bowie, but
I love Labyrinth.
yeah, me too.
And I've had the opportunity to meet the puppeteer makers from Labyrinth.
Oh.
So I've met Brian and Wendy Froud. So
wow.
their son Toby was actually the baby Toby in the film. So that is amazing.
Wow, that's great. I didn't know. Nice.
So yeah, that's going to be. I'm going to look forward to that.
Yeah, that's probably in February, and it's going to be a medieval version of As the World Falls Down.
Oh, brilliant! Oh,
Yeah, we're really looking forward to that. Together with Fira Miel, we're playing this song. So I'm collaborating with a lot of new artists as well.
Excellent.
And for March, we're doing a Viking song again for the game Northgard.
We do like your Viking songs because you have got the accent for that.
Yeah, a little bit Nordic.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're doing a song for the game Northgard as a fan song, and after that, nothing is planned. But I did reach out to a lot of composers to try and do more like soundtrack/trailer music. Because I would like to have my voice in the soundtrack of a video game at some point next year.
Oh, fingers crossed.
That's the goal. So I'm hoping to get to create a sort of library of songs that are a bit like video game music, so that if a creator or a developer comes across my music, that he might think like, hey, I might ask him to do it, and also I can reach out to developers and say, look, I've already done this, and yeah.
Oh, that'd be brilliant. Oh, I really do hope for you that everything goes ahead and you do get that trailer for the video game as well. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a big goal. I don't know if it will be achievable in 1 year, but if not, then we'll just use another year.
Yeah.
I've learned to be patient by now. It's really paying off to look at the long term.
Oh, well, thank you so much for being on Skype this evening, because obviously you are in the Netherlands, so thank you so much. And to take us out of this hour, we're going to play Light the Yule Log, which obviously is the you normally, now if I remember the right tradition for the Yule Log, is you bring it in for the year previous, you keep it, and then for the whole year. And then when that year's up, you then bring in another Yule log, and that old Yule log is what you burn.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, you burn it, and you put one end of the log in the fire. Mm-hmm. You just use an entire tree. You cut off all the small branches, you put one end in the fire, and then as long as the celebrations last, it will continue to feed the fire until it's entirely gone.
Brilliant. Well, here it is. Well, thank you very much for being on my show this evening. And here is Light the Yule Log. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
First toast is to Odin, victor over all. The second toast we lift to Freyr, harvest bountiful. The third is to the king himself, a beaker to him hath. And then we pour some on the floor for the many that have left. Oh, light the Yule log and bring the Yule goat in. Carry us the gifts all from the gods and lay warm against our skin. In the days ahead of Yule, darkness comes to call. Yule's the start of brighter days, be merry one and all. Drink up all the ale today and breathe the pine smell in. We will pray and we shall wait for the new year to begin. Oh, light the Yule log and bring the Yule goat in. Carry us the gift gifts all from the gods and lay warm against our skin. And bless this beaker now. Your thing, man, I've gathered, so bless us, thing, man, now. The first toast is to Odin, victor over all. The second toast we lift to Freyr, harvest bountiful. The third is to the king himself, a beaker to him hand, and then we pour some on the floor for the many that have left.